Hi, welcome friends. Today we'll discuss more on maps as a revision for you. So you have already read in the chapter maps, and let us see how much you have understood. So in this module we'll be discussing, and I will be in fact asking some questions to you in front of you. Some questions will be there and you will have to answer those questions. We'll be discussing globe and maps, types of maps, components of maps, and at last some fun activity again for you. So already you have, as I said, you have read in the previous module of our geography part, chapter maps. So again, let me see how much knowledge you have gained, how much you know about globe and maps, types of maps, components of maps. So let us begin. Now you have read about, now you know that what is a globe. So to be very simple, the globe is an accurate model of the earth. It is three-dimensional. So you can see that a globe is three-dimensional. So as our earth is vast and round, so it is not possible for everyone to see the entire earth at a time. So only one face you can see. Look at over here. So it is not possible to see an entire earth at a time. So for that, a small model of the earth in the form of globe may be used to study about different regions of the earth. So if you watch it carefully, a globe is a small scale model of the earth which represents the earth quite accurately. The shape of the earth is different. Physical features and location of places are easily shown on the globe. However, you know that globe has certain limitations also, as we discussed. So apart from this, you can see some lines on the globe. What are these? Yes, in fact, these are the grid systems. And they are latitudes and longitudes. You have already learned in the previous module the importance of latitude and longitudes detailedly. So let me ask you a question. Yes, here in the form of a globe, there are some lines in front of you. Identify the important latitude symbols. We have discussed more on these latitudes and longitudes, their importance. So you must know these important latitudes. So do you know the answer? Let us see what is your answer. Are you correct or not? Yes. This is the answer for my question. The uppermost line which I have drawn over here is Tropic of Cancer, and the middle line, as you know, is your equator, and below the equator you have Tropic of Capricorn. do you have some more knowledge on this? Parallels of latitude. The equator is the largest latitude, as you know. It runs exactly midway between the two poles. Like the diameter of a circle. Hence, it is considered the starting point while determining the location of a place. So, it helps us to determine the location of a place towards north or south. The equator is measured as 0 degree. You know the value. It is measured as 0 degree. Same way you have Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, the value. Beside the equator, there are 6 other parallels which are important because they help to divide the earth into different zones. These 7 latitudes have been influenced by natural physical laws, hence they are considered important. So beside equator you have Tropic of Cancer passing to 23.5 degree north, Capricorn 23.5 degree south, and you have Arctic Circle at 66.5 degree north, and same way the Antarctic Circle 66.5 degree south. So this was about the latitudes. Now let us discuss about the maps. You have already learnt about the maps. As we discussed earlier, a map is a representation, drawing of the Earth's surface or a part of it on a flat surface. Maps are drawn according to scale. It is difficult to represent a spherical surface on a flat surface. Especially trained people draw maps, and they are called cartographers. So, you can say that a map is certainly more convenient than a globe. A map can depict all physical features and the tiny details accurately, and it can be carried and handled easily. Now look at the maps. Different types of map as we discussed in our previous module. Identify the types of maps. You have read about it. What is the difference? Look at the image carefully. What is the difference between these maps? In one map, you can see the features clearly. With different colors they are shown. In this map you can see the boundaries of the state. And in this map you can see a particular theme has been represented or marked. It can be soil or climate. In this case, let us see. It is a climate zone of the country. So, after looking carefully on these maps, try to find out the difference. We have already learned about the 3 types of map. Now here is a question for you. Identify the types of maps. I hope you must have answered it if you have seen the previous module. So maps are useful for students and common people alike. They provide a lot of information to the planner who can plan roads, residential areas, factories, parks and other places on the basis of information given in maps. During a war, military strategies are also planned on the information provided by maps. Maps play an important role for us. So, these maps, the modern maps, although the maps making has a long history, our modern maps are mostly printed on paper or plastic. They are accurate and detailed maps drawn up with the help of satellites and computers. So now you know about maps. So I hope you must have given the correct answer of these maps. Let us see the answer. Yes, this is your physical map. You know what is a physical map? They show the landforms like mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, lakes and oceans. So this is a physical map. Now look at this map. This is a political map. Now these maps show the boundaries of countries, states and districts as well as the location of cities, towns and villages. So all boundaries you can see, whether it is of a country, state, district, towns and villages. So you can find on this map. So it is known as the political map. Now come to this map, thematic map. Maps which are based on a theme or a topic are called thematic map. We have discussed this. These maps may show types of soils, forests, crops, distribution of minerals, industries, etc. So particular theme is shown in this. It can be a soil type, it can be a vegetation, completely forest cover which is showing. You will not find other features, physical features or boundaries on that. So that map is known as thematic map. So I hope now you must have understood about the maps also more clearly. Now let us come to the components of the map. Now map has some essential features. There are some aids or tools. So there are some aids or tools provided in each map. You can see these, for example, I have given over here. These are some of the features which are provided in each map. Without that, you cannot understand a map. So they help us to read and interpret the map. Scale you can find, north, south direction you can find on that. Legends are there, symbols are there to identify the different features. So a title, distance or scale, direction and symbols are such tools. They are actually tools for us to study the map. They form the essential features of a map. So that is why these are essential features on the map. Now look at these. There are three components we discussed: distance, direction and symbol. Now here is a map example for you. you'll find some essential features on that. You have the direction over here. You have the colors representing different features, symbols to represent different things. Road it can be, water bodies are there, which are mentioned in the form of legends also over here. So scale is also there. Different features are there. And a map has a title also. Look here, this is the title of the map. Water quality map it is written. So every map has a title which tells us about the kind of information given in the map. So you have learnt more on this. You know what is the importance of this title, distance in the form of and the directions and the symbols which are used. Without this, a map doesn't have any value. So identify the three components of map. So in the previous map, you have to identify the three components. Yes, you can do it easily now. You understand what are the three components, three features, essential features of the map. Now let us discuss about the another feature, another component, scale. Now if you see a map, you will find scale at the bottom of the map. So it is not possible to show the places on the maps in their actual size because they are huge. While a map is a small piece of paper, so the size of the places are reduced, we have discussed earlier, so that they may be shown on the map. And this reduction is done with the help of an appropriate scale. We have discussed about the scales. So basically, we have two types of maps, small scale map and large scale map. So what is a small scale map? Let us revise. When a large area is shown on a small map, such a map is called a small scale map. Example, map of a country or state. And what is a large scale map? When a small area such as a village is shown on a map, such a map is called large scale map. A map of a neighborhood is another example of large scale map. So a large scale map gives more detail compared to a small scale map. So as compared to the small scale, this map gives more detail. Now let us see the two maps here. Distinguished as small scale and large scale map. This is a question for you. So look at the maps carefully and try to identify the difference in this. What is the difference in these two types of maps? So I hope, as per the definition, you must have understood about the maps. Two types of maps. This one where you can see a larger area, where large area is shown on a small map. So you can see larger area on a small map. This is a small scale map. So what is the definition? When a large area is shown on a small map, such a map is called a small scale map. So this map is called a small scale. Now, large scale map, what was the definition? When a small area such as a village is shown on a map, such a map is called a large scale map. So when a small area is such as a village is shown, small area, look at this. You can see the map of a small area. In this map you cannot find your village. Try to identify your village where it is. It is not possible. Your town, your street, where you live. Because it is a small scale map. But here in this case, in the case of large scale map, you can find small area easily. The smaller area is represented. You can find the road network of your town, street, villages where you live, the village area or the important places in that area where you live. Easily you can identify. So those maps are known as large scale map. So map which show large areas like continents or countries use a small scale, like 1 centimeter is equal to 1000 kilometer. So here if you take 1 centimeter over here in the ground, it will be measuring 1000 kilometer. 1 centimeter on this map will represent, if the scale is 1 centimeter is equal to 1000 kilometer, it means that 1 centimeter on this map will represent 1000 kilometer on the ground. Same way on this map, small areas like a district or towns use a large scale map. You know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 kilometer. For example, the scale over here, if you take 1 centimeter of distance between two places is 1 centimeter. If the scale is 1 centimeter is equal to 10 kilometer. So it means that 1 centimeter on the map is equal to 10 kilometer on the ground. So you are able to find small areas on this map. So this is the answer for you. This is small scale map and this is large scale map. I hope you must have answered it correctly. Let us move to another component, that is direction. So we have earlier read about the 4 cardinal direction. So there are 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east and west. And each map has a vertical line with an arrow on the top right or left corner of the map. So all the map you will find this. If you see, let me show you the map over here. Yes, here in this map also you can easily find. Let us see the another map. Although in this map here it is mentioned over here, you can see the direction. So a map contains information about direction. On most of the maps you will usually see an upward arrow and the letter N also it is written. This shows the north direction. Once we know the north, we can easily find the other direction. North, south, east and west are the 4 major directions. These are called cardinal directions. We have learned earlier. So some maps also show the intermediate direction. In between the major direction, cardinal direction, we have intermediate directions also. That is north, south, east, west. Now here is a question in front of you. You know about the directions. Identify the cardinal and intermediate directions. You have earlier studied, so you know about this. So the intermediate directions are, let me show you the answer. Yes, these are the intermediate directions. Look at the picture. Yes, this is north, intermediate directions: northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest. So this is the intermediate directions. So now you have understood about the directions also, you see. Now let us discuss about the another important component, that is symbols. So symbols, as we have discussed earlier, it is the third important component of a map. There may be many large features in the area which are landmarks of that region. They may be a railway station, post office, temple, bridge, dam, etc. Since there is not enough space in a map or actually drawn them, they are represented by certain colors, symbols or letters. By using these symbols, an authentic map with proper landmarks can be drawn, which is simple and easy to read. So lots of symbols you can see in the form of colors, in the form of different mark, as we will be discussing, and I will be giving you some question also to identify the different symbols on the map. And without this, map doesn't make any sense. You cannot read a map without the symbols. So this is a very important feature of the map. So cartographers also need to show various details like important structures, landmarks, etc. on a map. These things are shown by some standard symbols on the map. You can understand that it is not possible to draw pictures of hospital or temple or railway line or a monument on a map because of the lack of space. So because you are drawing it on a piece of paper. And some conventional symbols have been made on the basis of international agreement. Now let us see a question I have put in front. Before this, you should know about one map. This is I have given an example of a topographical map in front of you. This is very important map of Survey of India. You know that in our country, the department or the ministry which is responsible for development and of maps, making of maps through various technologies and techniques, that is Survey of India. So this is the sheet. You can find it on the website of Survey of India. A lot of maps freely available. You can download and you can try to understand, try to identify different features on that, and try to study the symbols which are there and different other things which are present on the map. So freely they are available on the website of Survey of India. So here is a map. Although I cannot zoom over here, but you can see the blue color is showing some lake over here, and this is the number G43, which represents the particular area of the country. So you have scale also in this important feature. You have symbols. Accurately you can see the different symbols over here. So this is basically a topographical map. It has one more important feature. If you see, these are the lines of latitudes and longitudes, and one more important feature, you can see the small thin lines over here in this area. Clearly you can see these are contours. These contours help us to study about the elevations. They are very important from strategic point of view also. It tells us about the relief of the particular area, whether it is mountainous areas, plain areas, valley areas, U-shaped valleys, V-shaped valleys. Everything you can identify with the help of this contours. They are very, very important for strategic point of view also, from for the surveyors basically who do research work in the field of geosciences or geology, geography. So for them it is very important. So this was an example in front of you, a topographical sheet, topography map. Now this is the question in front. Identify the different symbols. So here is a example. In every map you will find these symbols. You can see this is a part of a topographical map, topo sheet. Various symbols here. Example, I can show you. This is a temple, symbol of temple. It means that there must be temple over here near this village or town, whatever it is. And this is a river. So by this you can identify that this is not a perennial river. It is a dry river which must be flowing during the time of rainy season or monsoon period. So they have shown dots in this. This represents that it is dry most of the time, and these green color represents the trees. So let us, this is question, identify the different symbols. Can you identify some more symbols on this map? Yes, let me show you the answer. Some example for you. So yes, this is the symbol of settlement. Here you can see this is your temple, this is a river over here, and this is a tank. So many more are there. Now it's up to you how much you work on this and try to find out more symbols which will help you to understand the map. So I ask you the question, different symbols. The answer is settlement, temple, river, tank. All these are given at the, if you see the map at this side of the map, maybe at the right hand side or left hand side of the maps, these symbols are given. So these are the different symbols which are used to represent the different features of the map. Now let us discuss, these are another some symbols, examples which I gave you to understand about the maps. They are important. So many symbols are there on the maps. So I hope you have understood about the symbols while using colors to show different themes and items on a map. Certain conventions are followed. Mountains are usually shown in brown color, plains in green, water body in blue, and plateau shown in yellow color. So these are some of the things which are followed while preparing. These are nationally, internationally, they are recognized. So anyone, any person who have little bit of knowledge can read that map and he can identify that these mountains are of brown, these are in mountain, brown color is representing the mountains, and brown color is your plain, and in green water body is your blue, plains in green. Okay, mountains are usually colored in brown color. So we have seen earlier in this maps also, if you see carefully, the first map which I showed you, physical map. In this you can easily find out and you can identify the different colors which have been used to represent the different features. So now this was a good revision, I hope, for you. You must have understood it. At last, things to do, some fun activity, draw conventional symbols for these features: rivers, church, well, post office, temple, and tank. So these are important features, so you should know about it, and importance of it you have understood it, I hope. So meet you in the next module. Thanks.